I'm Tracy Keller. I'm the owner of Firefly Counseling.
Yes, and
And
I'm Polly Sackett, owner of Polly Sackett Counseling and a clinician working with Firefly. And I still have a name tag on, so I won't forget my name
now we'll know.
from today.
Now
I'm
we'll
going to
know
pick
who
that
you
up
are in case you forget.
in
Just
case
pull it
I
up.
forget.
So before we dive into tonight's topic of
Yes.
sunshine, snacks, and screaming, the real summer with children,
Yeah.
we just a disclaimer that even though Polly and I are both licensed professionals, none of this, takes the place of working with your own individual therapist. So if something that we say tonight resonates with you, feel free to take that and run with it. If something does not jive with you or what you're working on, feel free to leave that because
Yeah.
this is not like a one size fits all for everyone. A lot of the times we're just speaking in generalities of what we've seen in our office and what we has been helpful to like the kind of the broadest number of people, if you
Yeah.
will.
Yeah. Well said. Well said.
So,
Yes.
Holly, I don't know if you want to kick things off with just some of the challenges that you see come into the
Yes.
office
Yeah.
with parenting in summer.
Yeah, parenting in summer. I mean, the first thing I want to name in terms of the challenges is living in Wisconsin, where, in the depths of winter, sometimes summer really looks like an ideal. And we may hype it up a little bit. And then when we land in actual summer, which is wonderful in its own right, and it's also can be so very challenging. So, like, managing sort of our ideals and our fantasy about summer. So naming that first of all. Secondly, like oftentimes we come off of we're losing structure. So whether or not that's in the form of a kiddo being in school and us having a more of a routine, or just the routine of the rest of the 9 months. And while it can be really great to shake off structure once in a while, it can also be dysregulating. Um, for all of us and really disorienting about where we're to be and yeah, all of that. So losing structure is the both and. Um, Also, it can be really isolating and a little bit of a change of roles because sometimes, I mean, I don't know about you, Tracy, but like in my experience with parenting in the summertime, it really felt like I was a camp counselor, like trying activity to activity, and,
Yes.
like enrichment things, and that's exhausting.
Mm-hmm.
God bless the camp counselors.
Right. We don't pay them enough.
No, no, yeah. Yeah, and yeah, don't get me started about how much we don't pay those who care for our
A
kids.
whole soapbox we could
How
go
much
on.
that, yeah. The other thing I want to name, and this is a little bit more nuanced, is that summertimes can sometimes bring up some of our own trauma as it relates to summertime. um, for many of us who were raised in a household that was maybe chaotic, or maybe we were invalidated, didn't, feel seen or heard or understood, um, and also, frankly, abused emotionally, physically, etc. Um, School or wherever we spent the rest of the 9 months can be a safe harbor. And then it's a little bit like, we're going off the deep end into summertime. And so I want to honor that, that stuff can come up, that lack of structure, that then, something ping about, um, you know, that revisiting that trauma. So I just want to name that. Um, so yeah, just to name some of the
Yeah.
challenges, those are they.
Yeah.
And you got any,
I
Tracy?
mean, I think that, so like being in it myself, right? I think it is
Yes.
just like the structure is a huge thing that I love that you brought up. I think the dysregulation and the overstimulation, I don't think I realized how like sensory sensitive I am as a person until I had kids. And oh my gosh, like, and then when you get overstimulated, right, it goes into like those patterns and those habits and those routines and things that you learned in childhood, right? And then
Yeah.
you have this whole like mom guilt thing or parent guilt of
Yeah.
like, why am I reacting that way? Like that is what I hated
Yeah.
about my childhood. What am I
Yes.
doing? You know?
Yes.
So having a place to just like have space to process that and understand that like you are not the only person doing that. Your therapists are doing that too, right? I think
Absolutely.
is really
Yes.
validating to just normalize that like we all have like a nervous system that can only handle so much, and then at
Yes.
some point we're we're not our best
No,
selves. And
really
I
not.
think the flip side of that, even when we are really regulated and we are kind of showing up for our kids in a really present and mindful and you know, kid friendly way, that can also be triggering in a way because sometimes that can bring up like, well, I never had that, like that
Yeah.
kid part inside of me, you know, is feeling like, okay, I can see these other kids getting all the support from this
Yeah.
person, but like I don't know what that is, you know, so it can feel really or like trigger a lot of like lonely feelings or some of those like feelings that we may have had as a kid
Yeah.
in those situations. So I love that you
Yeah.
bring it back because
Yeah.
that's yeah,
Absolutely.
I love to think about things. Yeah.
Speaking of bringing it back, so interesting. My now adult son, newly adult, is was hired as a nanny. And so listening to him describe his days and say, Mom, like all they want is sugary snacks and they have a meltdown if they don't get them. I couldn't help but laugh. I said, welcome to you at, I didn't say this, but welcome to you at 14 years ago. My goodness.
Oh my gosh. Well, and like the other thing is too is like the expectations, the societal expectations of
Expectations.
like carrots and cucumbers. Like
Yes.
I can't get my kids to do any of that. And
No.
honestly, I'm like packaged snacks all
Go
day
for it.
long. Like
Do it.
do what I need to do just to kind of maintain some sanity as we
Yes.
need to, which I
Yes.
feel like kind of rolls us into like strategies, you know?
Strategies. Let's go with
What do you
strategies.
what do you got,
Yeah.
Polly?
Well, how are we
Strategy is
going to
up.
make
Let's
this
get
summer
going.
good? Let's talk about
Let's
it.
do it.
Well, first of all, I want to name like lowering the bar, letting go of our deals, our ideals, and
Hmm.
just like keeping it simple. I mean,
Yes.
if we sort of have a compass point of like, what do we want this, our summer to be? Let's just make sure that we laugh. Like, let's have some memories that include laughter. And if we can do like a compass point at that, generally aim towards it, maybe check in daily. What made you laugh? Um, it's all we got. And, in those lines of keeping it simple, that can be like really important and wonderful memories can be made, like popsicles on the porch, spray bottles and ice cubes in the backyard, or building a fort in the, whatever. Simple, keeping it really simple.
Mhm.
Um, so that's one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally. I think, you know, within that realm of things too, I think we put a lot of pressure on ourselves as parents to entertain our kids all the time. And in reality, some of the best, like, if you really kind of think back, some of the best experiences I had were times where I was being imaginative or where I was creating
Yes.
something or like playing under a bush, you
Yes.
know, like, oh, look at this cool fort
Yeah.
I found, you know, like doing weird stuff,
Doing
right? But
weird
like
stuff.
that is the stuff that makes a childhood awesome. Their imaginations
Yeah.
are like
Yeah.
everywhere. And this is such an opportunity where we can really kind of just sit back and let them enjoy and get creative and build those experiences that are going to be the cool
Yeah.
memories.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Um, Along with that is, I think someone whom I knew when I had small kids, and they did as well. She told me this strategy that she has, because another strategy is like a parent reset. So in this person's, and whether or not this is a strategy to use, I thought it was beautiful. Like every day at 1 o'clock, 1 to 2, it's just quiet time. And that meant the parent as well. We're all in our rooms, kind of in our bed. And like I could just imagine her with like an eye pillow on, just getting to like reset,
Mm-hmm.
and be ready for. And I don't think we necessarily do that. We don't necessarily maybe let ourselves like sit down, lie down, and just like have our own quiet time. Maybe put something on our ears, like
Mm-hmm.
whatever.
Yeah.
So that, yeah, parent reset.
Right. Well, and I think it always feels like such a crucial time of like, oh, I can get this and this done, you know? And
Right.
it's like, I think it's so hard to kind of like push through some of the guilt that can come up
Yes.
of like, I should be doing something now, when
Yeah.
in reality, resetting yourself is the thing to do,
Is the
is
thing to
the
do.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
I love that.
absolutely.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Another strategy, because as we have these really challenging days, I mean, this can be an opportunity because that is real life. We have these challenging days, summertime, wintertime, any season, is even just getting to name that. So like naming the stress and how that can be really normalizing and in some ways, modeling it. So like, wow, this day is just turning out to be really tough. I'm going to go take 10 deep breaths. So
Hmm.
being able to say that out loud is a real skill, and can like bring that visibility for us.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yes. I've also been taking to locking myself in the bathroom for a
Yeah.
couple minutes by myself.
Yes.
I can hear what's happening
Ah,
on the other side,
right.
which doesn't necessarily help the down regulation that I'm trying to do. And I
Yeah.
have a
Yeah.
minute. I have a minute to just
Right.
whoosah.
Yeah. And you're not being touched.
Yeah. Hmm. Not being. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
I know
Your
one of
own
the things.
body.
I know one of the things that you had brought up is just like that, like the isolation piece that can
Yeah.
come from summer, because I feel like people have so many plans, coordinating things gets so tricky.
Right.
And I know too, even just like coordinating play dates feels like it's like
Yeah.
wrangling monkeys sometimes,
Hmm.
and just having those moments to like find connection in meaningful ways, I think is so important and valuable too.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. In a couple different ways, like, having someone, maybe even just like a check-in buddy throughout the day of like texting if you can't otherwise see them. How's it going over there?
Hmm.
Just being able to say it,
Yep.
to say it and express it. And yeah, connecting up and how to keep that simple as well.
Hmm.
Let's, meet at the park and also maybe even establish like this may only last 5 minutes before
Hmm.
someone, and can we just be okay with that?
Right.
Or making it a whole day, however it ends up working. That flexibility can be really great, and I want to also name that sometimes flexibility is really hard.
Yeah.
um, though nevertheless, like getting the opportunity to not isolate
Hmm.
is really important.
Hmm. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. I know I have a couple people who like, it's like an emergency 911, like the people who I know will answer even if it's for like two
Yes.
seconds, or the people where it's like, I'll text you and you will text me back
Yeah.
6.5 hours from now,
Yes.
or 5 days later, but I know I'm heard. I still know
Right.
I'm heard. It still feels
Yes.
validating in that. And I think
Yes.
that's such an important thing to just be seen,
Yeah.
because I think we can get so in the role of like, I am parent,
Yeah.
I am just this like bot that is like making
Um,
everything work, as opposed to really kind of like having that connection of someone else being like, this is like, this is nutty, right? This is like like you're doing what? Like we're
so
seeing poop
hard.
off of what? Like
Yes.
needing someone to kind of just connect in and be like, this is ridiculous.
It's
Like
ridiculous. It's bananas. It
hmm.
really is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know. Me
Yeah.
and my partner all the time will say like, do you realize how much like emotional abuse we
Yes.
experience on a
From the,
day to day period?
yeah.
And then it goes to this like wonderful, like mindful moment of like, wow, look at this cuddle. This is
Right.
just the nicest
How
thing ever.
special. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I want to just say also, like, that unpredictability and that uncertainty in and of itself can be so dysregulating.
Hmm.
Like adorable moments, incredibly boring moments,
Hmm.
excruciating moments,
Yeah.
existential moments, like,
Right.
and you don't never necessarily know what's coming next. So just, yeah,
Right.
naming
Well,
that's part of the deal.
and the other thing I'm thinking about too as we're talking, this is why we started this like live series thing, because this is what me
Yeah,
and Polly do. It was just like,
yes.
and this and
Yep.
this and this. But I'm thinking about too just how like triggering it can be too, if you've had any kind of like trauma history too,
Yes.
having a 4-year old having a 6-year old kind of go from like, this is the meanest thing I could say to somebody, to like,
Yes.
I really love right? Like that can be very triggering in some ways too. And just being
Absolutely.
aware for yourself of what's coming up. I think one of the biggest things that, I talk to parents about all the time when I'm working in my office is like, like we can probably get away with a lot of stuff as a parent, like
Yeah.
saying and doing and being triggered, but it's all about like the
Yeah.
repair,
Yes.
like the rupture repair stuff is like everywhere in this awesome like parenting, like new parenting
Absolutely.
lingo stuff.
Absolutely.
So I think that's the thing is really kind of being okay modeling your feelings and being open about what's going on for you. You don't have to hide that away. Like,
Yeah.
and you can express how you're feeling in the moment.
Yeah.
And you can say "Ugh," once in a
Yes.
while. You can yell once in a while. But the thing is like coming back around saying,
Yeah.
this is what a body looks like when it's dysregulated. And
Yeah.
this was the outcome of that. And I'm sorry if I yelled.
Yeah.
This is what was going on and this
Yeah.
is how I should have handled it.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. I'm glad you named that.
Mm-hmm.
The rupture repair
Yeah.
cycle and the importance of repair. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. If you're doing that, you're parenting just fine, I think.
Yeah. 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 Um, yeah, you know what? I think we may have a viewer, and I wanted to just like get that viewer to give the opportunity to say, like, hey, what is a simple strategy that you may use? Are you, if you're a parent out there who's doing some summertime parenting, you have any simple,
Mm-hmm.
send us an emoji in the comments, or, what do you do for um, keeping it simple? Keeping it
Mm-hmm.
simple in the summer.
Yeah. Yeah. If you have any feedback, feel free to throw it in. If
Yes.
you are somebody else who is a parent who's just like, this is an interesting thing we're doing in
Yeah.
life right now in summer, give us a heart or something like that too, just to throw it up.
Yeah.
And we know that we're all kind of in it
Yeah.
together. And I
Yeah,
think
we're
that,
in it
there's
together.
plenty of spaces for us to continue to process this and navigate through. And at least we can get outside. If your
Right?
kids
At
aren't
least we
runners.
can get outside.
One of my kids is a
Yes.
runner. So,
Oh boy, yes. That's tricky. That's tricky. I want to also just like name, I believe if is it through a mom's mental health initiative or its own entity in and of itself is Park Pals.
hmm
Just wanted to
yes,
like put a plug out there for Park Pals.
yes,
Um, and I'm having trouble remembering their website at present, but
yeah.
it's a
Park
Milwaukee
House is great.
organization. Yeah,
hmm
yeah,
Yeah,
Park
no, go
Pals is
ahead, Polly.
fantastic. Well, that's all I wanted to say.
Yeah,
Park
no, they're
Pals is
great.
great.
And Mom's Mental Health Initiative is another amazing resource. I know Little
Yes,
Play Cafe has a ton of really great activities out there for people,
they do.
for little kids going on. I know
Mm-hmm.
the rec departments are awesome too. That's what's entertaining my kids
Yes,
this
yes.
summer as
The
well.
libraries can
Yes.
also be super great
There's a ton of
programs.
programs. Yes.
Yeah, for
hmm
sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And taking advantage of those things too. You don't have to spend a ton of money just to get out of the house a little bit and build in some of the structure for yourself if that feels helpful to
Yes.
you. And if
Yeah.
you can't get out of your house like I can't sometimes, then you just don't. You
You
just
just don't.
don't. You just don't. You
You just
fill up a
don't.
pool and you
You
just call
don't.
it a day.
Right? Yes. Yeah. Yeah, and that I mean this doesn't make it any better, and this too shall pass.
hmm
Here I
Yes.
am dropping my oldest off at college, and like, he was my screaming summertime guy.
hmm
What it was a joy, and yeah, yeah. Um, yeah, this is that particular time. It won't always be,
Yeah.
and it's super hard.
Yep. Right.
Super
Absolutely.
hard. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, this is lovely,
Okay.
Polly. I love it.
Yeah,
At
this
least we
was
got this
great.
to work like what, 15 minutes late. It's fine. We
Yay!
got it.
No
We got it.
problem. I'm gonna
Awesome.
see if I can make those fireworks go off if I do
I
like.
wonder.
Yay!
Maybe if we just have
I
hands.
think I think it was the updates. It like
I
took
don't
that
know.
away from me.
I don't
That's
know.
why they updated. No more
That's fun.
jazz hands for that
No
gal.
jazz hands for Polly.
Jazz hands
Awesome.
fireworks.
Well, stay
Oh,
tuned for our
yes.
big reveal
Big
tomorrow.
reveal tomorrow.
I'll do my
Yeah.
jazz hands for you. And
Yes.
then in 2 weeks,
Hmm.
the next session of our Firefly Live series, if we can get Instagram to agree
Yes.
and work with us, is going to be Behind the Sessions, a therapist guide for parents of teenagers.
Yes. Yes, parents of teens.
Yes.
That, yes, I love it. I'm so excited for that. I'm
And
not going to be there,
we have a
but I'm gonna,
guest. We have a
yes,
guest.
I want to hear. I want to hear who your guest
So
is. A teen?
our
Is it a teen?
not a teen. Oh, that'd be fun.
Uh,
I'll think about it. I have a goddaughter who would be amazing. But
okay,
anyway,
okay.
no. So the guest is going to be Dr. Becky Bonds. She's going to come
Oh,
on.
Becky!
Yes, she is a
Yay.
therapist in like the integrative like behavioral health thing at Children's. But I have
Yes.
worked with her in the past. We think similarly about how to work with teens. And I don't know, just in my years of working with teens in general, which is my little like side thing that I
I
like.
love
Um,
this. Yeah.
Right. I think
Interesting.
there's so many things that just feel like so common within like the themes of things in working with teens that like if I could like shout from a mountain, like parents of teenagers, these are
Yes.
things that are important. I would love to. So instead of like a mountaintop, I will use Instagram and make Becky yell it like equally as loud as
Good. Yes. Excellent. Have her update her Instagram.
I know. Right.
Good.
I'll have her update it. I'll update mine. And then, I'll make sure I'm really connected to Wi-Fi so I don't lose this video like last time too. So
Yes.
we'll see what happens.
All the good
Either way, we
things.
work it out. The
Yeah.
videos end up getting posted. So if you miss us, we'll show up somewhere at some point.
We'll show up.
Yes.
We'll show up.
But reveal
Yes.
tomorrow. If you need
Yes.
continuing ed and your
Agreed.
therapist, Friday. And then next 2 weeks out, July 1st, teenage parents checking in.
Yes. Yes.
Sneaky.
Teenage sneakies. Yes.
I don't know, Paul. But anyway. Sweet.
Awesome.
Well, thank you all for
We did
joining
it.
us. We
Thank
made
you.
it.
Thank you, Tracy. We made it through. Sunshine, snacks, and screaming.
Yep, we did it.
All right.
All right, on to summer now.
See you
See ya.
soon.